All right. Well, hi, everyone. Welcome to Nourish Your Dopamine Reset Info Call. This topic is more important than we think. And today we are going to be diving into what is dopamine, why regulating our dopamine is so important this time of year, ways we can nourish it through nutrition, daily habits, community support. And my name is Mary Beth Fleming. I'm one of your co-hosts for this beautiful reset. And I'm so glad you're here, no matter what's going on in your life right now, whether it's kids or dinner, chaos in the background, whether you have your camera on or off, however you made it, you made it. And your presence matters. So, again, thank you for being here. So, when you hear the word dopamine, what comes to mind? Go ahead and drop it in the chat if you don't mind. For me, when I first hear that word or think of it, I instantly think of, that dopamine hit, that instant reward. But what few people realize is that dopamine is actually more about motivation, drive, craving, goal-seeking behavior, focus, and emotional regulation. It's not just about pleasure. It's your I have energy to do life chemical. And that's why this topic is so important for all of us, especially for moms, families, kids, busy professionals, and anyone living in this overstimulating world. Dopamine depletion affects all of us and all the tiny humans watching us. So, this is the perfect season to be here because let's be real. November through the new year is dopamine chaos. Am I right? More sugar, more scrolling, more social media time, more stimulation, more shopping, more emotional load, more stress, more decisions, less sunlight, less rest, less presence. And it's a lot. Let me know in the chat if you feel it not just mentally but physically. Go ahead and write physically in the chat if you can feel it on your whole body, right? And we might think we're failing. We might think we're feeling unmotivated. We might think we need more willpower. But the truth is, our dopamine system is just overloaded. Our brain is tired. Our nervous system is overstimulated. And you're not broken. You're just depleted. And I want to share something personal with you all. This reset didn't start as a program idea, it started because I needed it. I've got a couple businesses, I homeschool, I have three children. It's the holidays. We've been traveling a lot as a family. There seems like there's just endless to-dos. And even despite doing all the regular things I do to maintain harmony in my life, last month I hit a wall. And it wasn't like one of those dramatic meltdown kind of ways. It was that silent kind that sneaks up on you. I went into my office and I sat down in front of my computer and I completely froze. Like I completely forgot why I'd even sat down there. And even if I was going to do anything, my brain was just blank, like a wire had short circuited. And it could have been the toys that were everywhere. It could have been the lack of sleep the night before or the to-do list that was staring me in the face. But what I realized in that moment was I didn't need more motivation. I wasn't doing something wrong. I was tired because my brain was tired. My dopamine was tired. My nervous system was wired, but tired. So trying harder wasn't working. Coffee wasn't working. Lists weren't working. Focus wasn't working. Force wasn't working. And then something clicked. My brain didn't need more stimulation or more to do. It needed balance. It needed nourishment. It needed space to breathe. Has anyone had a moment like that recently? Let me know that I'm not alone in the chat. Just the other day, I was scrounging the house for my car keys and they were in my hand, right? So I realized if I'm feeling this way, I'm not the only one. Dopamine is your brain's let go chemical. It's motivation, it's focus, it's drive, it's clarity, it's follow through, it's emotional resilience. But when life gets loud, the scrolling, the sugar, the caffeine, the alcohol, the multitasking, the constant stimulation, and yes, motherhood and work and family, your dopamine system gets overwhelmed. And that's when we feel low motivation, zero focus, irritability, procrastination, emotional ups and downs, brain fog, feeling like meh for no reason. And that's not failure, it's physiology. It's your brain saying, help. So tonight we begin rebuilding that. Nourish Your Dopamine is not a detox group. It's not a punishment. It's not about restriction. It's a gentle, doable reset for your brain and your nervous system. The key is celebrating small wins, simple yet deep nourishment, tiny habits that build momentum, and a little more presence and a little less chaos. So let me know in the chat if you could use that in your life right now, because I feel like we all could just walking around the grocery store. So I want to share a few quotes with you all that I read today in our support groups for this group. We've already started, it's ongoing through the holiday season and the new year. And one of them said, I'm more regular already, and my body is craving water before I even reach for a soda. Another one said, finally, I have been consistent with my daily exercise and superfoods because of this challenge. And lastly, having space to be vulnerable and share where I'm draining my dopamine and to be held in this container to develop more aligned habits is such a gift. And it is a gift to be able to do this together, to be conscious of this together. So, for the next 30 to even 90 days or beyond, if you choose, we are going to be utilizing organic superfoods and herbs to help us focus on nourishing our brain, calming the overstimulation, supporting your nervous system, focusing on progress over perfection, rebuilding trust with yourself through simple daily habits. This is not about willpower. This is about reconnection. This is a remembering of who you are on a cellular level. And before we go further, I just want to say this isn't just for you. This shift affects your whole family because when your dopamine resets, your kids feel it. Your partner feels it. Your coworkers feel it. Your whole home energy changes. Your stress cycles can break. Your patience can expand. Your clarity return and your presence deeper. And I don't know if I'm alone in this, but one of the things I love about the holidays is just trying to be more present with the people around me. And the best part is the superfoods we will go over today are completely family friendly. So anyone can join this reset. So please don't keep it for yourself. And why we're doing this now and not just starting in January, because this season is where everything gets thrown off. And this time, we're choosing not to crash into the new year. We're entering it already in momentum. And the key aspect is that we're doing it together. The reason, I'll just mute everyone, thank you. The reason that this is a community reset is that being in community has a really powerful effect on your dopamine. And it's not in a fluffy way, it's in a biological way. When you immerse yourself in healthy community and your brain experiences something meaningful, rewarding, or socially validating, it gives your brain something to look forward to, which restores drive and vitality. Humans are wired to survive in groups, so your brain treats connection as essential, not optional. When you look forward to seeing familiar faces, having your struggles acknowledged by others, sharing ideas, belonging to something bigger, having a space to share and be heard, your brain releases dopamine as a reward signal. It says, this is good for me. Stay here. Do more of this. So loneliness drains our energy. And thus why we are focusing on a community upliftment during this time. And we have Facebook groups to do that. We have a WhatsApp chat thread for daily accountability. We have Friday alignment classes with my sister Rita. We have these Thursday calls. We have check-ins. So many ways to do this together. And this reset also includes 1 to 2 nourishing superfood meals a day. So simple whole food dinner recipes, daily dopamine reset checklist, nervous system regulation tools, product giveaways, and your daily 90-day dopamine grid, which I have right here. So every day you show up for your brain, you mark an X, track it, and you get to feel really good about your progress. So now I want to dive into the foundational aspects of this reset, which is the organic superfoods. And I really want to be clear about this. These superfoods are not stimulants. They are pure, real, regenerative nourishment. They're clean, they're organic, they help you curb unnecessary cravings, they can help you reduce reliance on caffeine, keep you from skipping meals, keep you from overeating. They're safe for families, they're supportive for kids alone. My kids, I'll speak for myself, I noticed that They benefit in many ways, having calmer moods, fewer meltdowns, better sleep, better focus. Anytime they seem to get a little overstimulated, I give them some superfoods to just calm them down. And it's really wonderful for the whole family to do together. So we have three different tier options that you can opt in for and join our group. Tier one is really an opportunity to just kick the cravings, right? There's a lot of holiday cravings. And drop a one in the chat if sometimes you eat things that you know you don't necessarily want to eat or you know that aren't going to make you feel that good. So, this is a way to kick those cravings and just have steadier energy. And what it consists of is we have our power shake here. This is your minerals and your micronutrients your brain loves. So, this is blood sugar stability, it's anti-inflammatory support, it's filled with superfoods and whole food source B vitamins and minerals that protect dopamine neurons, they prevent crashes, and they activate dopamine enzymes. In simple terms, Power Shake doesn't push dopamine throughout the body. It gives your brain permission to make dopamine again. And I personally can't go a day without this. I call it my liquid sunshine. I drink it twice a day, and let me know in the chat if you can relate to that. And then the next component of tier one is our biomedic, which I think I forgot to grab it, but biomedic comes in the same amazing compostable, biodegradable packaging. So when you use these, you can bury them in your backyard or you can put them in the trash and they'll decompose in the landfill. And Biomedic is one of the most relevant products for dopamine support because dopamine depends on nutrient absorption, microbiome balance, inflammation control, gut lining health, and detox efficiency. And Biomedic supports all five. So basically, it's your gut health in a bag. Personally, when I first started on Biomedic, I was blown away by the way that my moods became more stable. I've dealt with up and down moods my entire life, and just in 3 weeks of getting on the biomedic, my moods had been more stable than ever in my entire life. So, blown away by the connection between the gut and the brain and how mentally that affects us. So, that's tier one, just those two things. Every day, once or twice a day, your choice. And it's less than $150 for a whole month's supply, plus all the benefits of the group. And then tier two, if you want to go a little bit deeper, this is if you're desiring a stronger metabolism. It's if you're desiring more emotional regulation, and it comes with one full superfood meal replacement a day. So it gives you a little bit of time back in your day. And it includes the two that we just talked about, the Power Shake and the Biomedic, but it also comes with the aminos. This is stable energy and strength. Amino acids equals brain chemistry. Dopamine is specifically built from the amino acids in this formula. So when you restore your amino acids, you restore your dopamine capacity, which means you are reducing emotional crashes, you're preventing dopamine burnout, and you're supporting a calm confidence. These are 99% bioavailable. So they're digested in the body in 23 minutes, making them one of the most efficient sources of protein for your body. And I personally carry this body around in my purse everywhere I go. Whenever I feel like I'm experiencing a low energy or maybe a crash, I grab these and they help maintain and stabilize right away. The other thing that's in tier two is your apothecary. And this probably, if I had to say, is my most favorite nutrient that we have. This is deeper sleep and restored dopamine. The function of dopamine in the body depends on overall brain health, the amount of oxidative stress that's in your body, the sleep quality, and the status of brain inflammation. So, what Apothecary supports with is healthy brain environment because it's has so many antioxidants in it that it creates a low inflammatory environment. It's better sleep and stress regulation because tart cherries have naturally occurring melatonin in them and healthy neurotransmission function because of the high antioxidant ratio. So, this is my family's favorite nighttime elixir. My kids, they even make it for themselves. I don't have to make it for them. They love it so much. So, this is wonderful. And one of the cool things about tier two is you can get one bag of the Power Shake, and then you can also opt in for one bag of our dark berry protein. This is a really antioxidant rich brain food. It increases blood flow to the brain. as dopamine needs really good blood flow and oxygen. It supports mitochondrial energy and it improves and restores mental endurance and focus. So, tier two is a whole month's supply. And like I said, all of that adds up to one meal replacement a day, and it's $7 a day. So, I don't know about you, but I can't even get an organic meal for under $15 to $20 a day, let alone all of these nutrients. So, really incredible. And then if you're wanting to go even deeper and make this more of like a lifestyle where you want to actually shift some bad habits, you want more hormone support, and you actually want to have two superfood meal replacements a day, that's where you would opt in for tier three. And tier three is everything that we talked about. You're just going to get double the amount so that you can do it twice a day. And then it's going to come with Super Cleanser. And this is actually a very gentle parasite cleanse. And parasites affect dopamine much more than people realize because parasites eat up our stores of minerals and vitamins and amino acids. So that leads to sluggish moods, emotional flatness, brain fog, and most of us don't even know that we have them or that they're affecting us. So, those serious about root cause solution for dopamine depletion, this is a really huge part of it. And I have to say, my husband and I just recently did the super cleanser, and one of my kids came up to me and he said, Mom, you and Dad haven't fought for a while. And I was like, wow, because parasites affect us so much more than we know. So, if you are nursing or breastfeeding, this parasite cleanse is not recommended. So, you would actually just opt for the cracked cell chlorella instead, which you can easily do. And this is really rich in raw materials that support dopamine and other neurotransmitters. Chlorella is naturally rich in iron, magnesium, zinc, vitamin B6, which are all cofactors to help your brain convert amino acids into dopamine and provide that highly oxygenated environment. So the third tier is about 13 bucks a day. And again, you get all those nutrients and you take them twice a day. And so you can choose to start at any of these tiers and join us. And you can start with one and then move to tier two, or you can start with tier three right away, or you can start with tier two and go to tier three, whatever suits you best, your choice. The main question is what do you need most right now? Go ahead and drop it in the chat if you know it right off the top of your head. Um, and with all of these tiers, we highly recommend adding in, it's a simple add-on, your pineal clear. This is an herbal formula that helps clarity and focus. It helps with the most amazing creative dreams, and it is pure energy for your dopamine. So dopamine production is energy dependent. And my family and I, we actually mix this in with our apothecary at night so that we can have that even deeper rest and, like I said, amazing, beautiful dreams. So, an add on that we all highly suggest. And then we have our new chill spray, which I guess I don't have with me either, but this is brand new. I just got my hands on it 1 week ago. It's nervous system balancer. It does not increase dopamine, but it clears the interference so that dopamine can function in the body. And basically what it is it's GABA and L-theanine, which are two compounds your brain already uses, and it interrupts spiraling thoughts. It supports emotional balance, and it can help your mind quiet down when it's revved up or overstimulated. So my first experience with it was just last week, and literally, I kid you not, the second I sprayed it on my tongue, I felt a shift. Like, I can't explain it, but I feel it. And ever since, I've been taking it 2 to 3 times a day. So all of these foods and herbs are building blocks for neurotransmitters, hormones, and your nervous system. And that's why they are crucial to this reset. So just to reiterate, you have your starter tier, which is just perfect for fewer cravings, steadier energy. You have your core four, which is deeper sleep, gut support, emotional steadiness, and one superfood meal a day. Or you have tier three, which can be a 30 to 90-day transformation of habit shifting, hormone health, metabolism regulation, and 2 meals a day. And if you opt in for tier three, you're actually going to receive a $45 free gift which is our aqua vibrance. This is black mica drops that you add into your water, and it helps to re-energize and oxygenate the water so that it becomes more bioavailable to the cells. Cellular hydration is health. So I personally don't drink any water without it. I put it in all my superfood shakes. So you get a free bottle of that if you opt into tier 3, which is pretty amazing. So choose the tier that best fits the season you're in. And in 30 days, you get to interrupt patterns. In 60 days, you start to rewire the brain. And in 90 days, you get to become the pattern. You get to create a new identity with your nervous system. So before we close, I want to open this up to others so you all don't just hear from me, but hear from the group. If you've been using these superfoods, or maybe you've done an ultimate lifestyle transformation with us in the past, or maybe you're joining us again for the new year, or maybe you're currently already in Nourish Your Dopamine. I would love if you could just come off mute or raise your hand and just share, what are some of the shifts that you've noticed? Have you noticed anything with your cravings, your sleep, your mood, your energy, your motivation? If you're not able to come off camera, go ahead and drop them in the chat. But we'd love for you to share just one simple change you've noticed. Nothing medical, nothing dramatic, just how you feel different in maybe 30 seconds or so. So if you just raise your hand, I can call on you and bring you off mute. Emily, let's do that.
All right, I'll do my best on 30 seconds. I just want to share before I even start. If you are resisting this, I get it because those of us who could benefit the most are the ones who are going to be the most resistant because where I was going and I was doing, and I can relate to that. That was me. And this isn't going to be one more thing. This isn't about speeding up. This is the thing that unwinds that wind up that keeps us spinning in our wellness journey in life. And it's about nourishing, like Mary Beth said, our nervous system, our body, our brain, and truly our soul. And awareness creates alignment. And I can speak from personal experience when we slow down enough to realize what is serving us and what isn't, we can start having more alignment, more intentionality in our day-to-day living. And that isn't about moving faster or doing more. It's actually realizing what we've been missing. Um, it's just kind of hard to hear at first. And, I'll also share my experience with superfoods because I came in like, I'm not going to feel anything different. Thank you, but I'm excited for them because I'm a personal trainer and I'm a group fitness instructor and I eat healthy. I'm a health coach and I eat organic and I don't eat all the things. And I was really humbled to say the least. And I won't share all my amazing shifts, but I'll share one for the sake of time in the call. But I had a lot of friends jokingly, uh, call me ADHD. They would say, you're just ADHD. And that they weren't really joking because honestly, I would have to work out to expel some energy so I could focus, so I could sit down and focus. And once I started Purium and the superfoods, it shifted. I started feeling not that chaotic. My nervous system wasn't in that fight or flight. I wasn't disassociating, honestly. I didn't feel all stressy. I started feeling grounded and centered and present and focused. And my energy wasn't spiking and crashing, but just alive and steady. And so that helped me become more aware of myself, become more embodied and connected in my life. And I expected nothing from these superfoods, and it changed everything in my world. So that's why I love this reset because it's combining all the things. And I really believe that one of the most beautiful acts that we can do, the service that we can offer the world, is when we can unwind our own nervous system and our own tension and support ourselves in that way, because then our energy becomes more coherent and calming. And then the people around us, I mean, they can feel that, right? You don't even have to say a word and you become that healing present energy. So it reconnects us with our own essence, brings us home. And when we do that, we bring others home. And that was not 30 seconds, but thank you.
No worries. Thank you so much, Emily. And I love how you brought in that those pieces of just personal awareness. And because that's the idea of this is truly reconnecting first with ourselves so then we can reconnect with those around us truly in a present, meaningful way. So thank you so much. And I love how you shared your resistance to it and your surprise of now feeling better. And I would agree. It's probably the things I'm most resistant to in life that I usually need the most. So thank you so much for that share and so glad you're in the group with us. Drea, you've been having some wonderful shares, and Drea's in the Nourish Your Dopamine group already. So if you want to come off and share.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. And I want to thank you, Mary Beth, and Abby Rose, and Rita, and Madeline for your inspiration in the WhatsApp group. I just want to start off with thanking you guys. This has been really an amazing experience for me so far, and just because I've had breakthrough doing this challenge, the Nourishing Your Dopamine challenge. Well, if you really knew me, Mary Beth, you would know that I was raised with a lot of baked goods and sweets all around me. My father was a chef, and it was like that's one of the ways of expressing love in our culture and our family to food and so I was always exposed to a lot of sugar. But what I didn't realize is that I actually identified myself as being someone with a sweet tooth. Didn't see it as being a addiction or anything like that. And so it was really a breakthrough for me when I realized that I actually do have a sugar addiction. And I had a bad habit also that like, that Dr. Anne Lemke, she mentions a lot of things about, you know, um, red flags about addictions and that you don't realize that you're addicted until you stop the behavior, sort of thing. So I learned a lot about this, over compulsive consumption of sugar, and that missing breakfast and lunch was not good for me. So what I found on the 9 day reflection, that was amazing because when I looked back and I realized that I'd taken the power shake twice a day. So those meals where I would miss, I'm now drinking the power shake. And so I don't get that craving and I'm not hungry. So the other thing is like, when the stress stimulators, the stresses that triggers your addictions, so that halt, I love that halt, that the hungry, anger, lonely, and tired. I recognize that if I have any of those stressors with that algorithm, that I actually do get cravings for sugar at those times. So that was a huge breakthrough for me. It was very liberating because now I know don't that I can break that. I have a choice. I can break that rhythm of not that poor behavior of missing meals that that increases my cravings even more, and also that I can change my identity. I'm no longer somebody that has a sweet tooth. I'm now a woman that can control her sugar intake and monitor her sugar intake. So I realized that mindset change was really needed. And I love the exercise videos that were part of the package as well. And I'm not gonna lie, they stretch me. Like I find I have to modify a lot. But as I saw Shiro in the chat, it's about progress, not perfection. And so that's what I'm working towards for sure with the progress and just keeping my body moving. But overall, like yourself, Mary Beth, I find that not so much mood change, not I'm not getting so much mood changes. I'm feeling better. And I think a lot of that has to do with the diet. And then also with the screen time, I'm not screen like having my phone out of my bedroom when I'm going to sleep and not having my sleep is better. So I'm overall feeling better. And so this is just the timing is just divine for me because I'm actually just about finishing a book to be published on holistic self-care. And it's I have to practice what I preach, right? And so a lot of this information, it's just like I recognize that I am doing what I need to do to meet that holistic self-care needs. And so I just feel I'm just really feeling blessed and grateful for being here and for being part of this process. So thank you.
Yeah, wow, Drea, thank you so much for sharing your experience so far with us. And I will say, Drea is like really making the most out of this experience because when you join, you'll get a welcome letter. And at the very bottom of that letter, it has like your checklist that you can do daily where you learn about HALT. There's even a podcast you can listen to, exercise routines. And some may just opt for the nutrition, but Drea's choosing to do all of it. And the goal is, when we adjust all parts of our life, we start to see the big change because it all affects each other. So, just thank you so much for sharing all the little breakthroughs that you're having. And I am really excited to see where this takes you in the next 30 to even 90 days. So thanks for all your love in the chat thread and just being holding all of us accountable in there. It's so wonderful. So,
You.
so glad you're here. We have time for one more share. If there's anyone else that would like to come off and either share their experience so far or if you've had, the experience in the past. Would love to hear your voice. Just go ahead and raise your hand. All right. Let me grab a sip of water real quick. This isn't actually water, it's apothecary. I'm drinking it right now. Okay, well, let's see here.
I can also hop on, Murmur.
Thank you. It went down the wrong pipe.
Yeah. Hi. I'm also one of the co-hosts and Mary Beth's sister. And Mary is the amazing inspiration who introduced these beautiful superfoods to me about 6 years ago. And I can really relate to Emily. I thought I was doing everything. I grew up eating organic. I had been on a deep, deep healing journey for over 15 years and felt like I turned over every stone. But it wasn't until adding in these nutrient dense foods where I learned that even though I thought I was doing all the things, I was actually still incredibly depleted because our soils are so depleted. So it's hard to actually access nutrient rich food at the grocery store, even when we think we're getting the best, even when we're growing our own food. So after just 3 days, I noticed that the lights came on in my body. And I noticed, I think it was even within a week, that I started eating two-thirds less food because I was actually getting what I needed. I was actually feeling nourished. And I remember before this, I just kept looking in the fridge. Like, I just kept going back to the fridge and I'd be like, what am I missing? Nothing looks good. Close the fridge. Walk back to it 10 minutes later. What am I missing? Close the fridge. And just, like within a week or the first 10 days, I stopped doing that. And I was like, this is amazing. Like, I am finally getting what I need. So those cravings disappear. And then it was really, really beautiful. Like a month in, I could see the shift. I could see that I was getting a healthy inflammatory response. And 3 months in, it was actually the first time I felt like myself in 15 years. And I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh my God, I remember you. And it was like a whole homecoming because what I had been trying to heal from for those 15 years prior was really intensive injuries from a car accident. And what I noticed is that my body, like I came back into my body at a whole new level after adding these superfoods. So again, it was like a homecoming, like I felt like myself again. And that allowed me to get back into my passions, get back into athletics that I wanted so badly to get back into, but just didn't know how. And then it just created this really positive domino effect on my life. And now I'm back, I'm able to run again. Like I'm able to literally go skateboarding with my nephews. I'm able to keep up with my little 10-month-old who's, started running around at 8 months. Like so I'm just really beyond grateful for these superfoods and in ways that words cannot even express. But the level of joy that they've brought back into my life, the level of purpose, the level of passion and then being able to share that with others. So, yeah, and I do remember the very first holiday season that I had these superfoods. I was nannying at the time and there were sugar cookies everywhere. Normally I would just nibble on them and try this one and try that one, but I had the power shake and my body just didn't even want any of the sweets because I just, again, was so satisfied, satiated, nourished. And I remember just like, wow, what a shift that was. And so when you think of reclaiming your habits to the point where you don't even have to think about it, it's a it's a level of freedom that I don't think we realize. And through this dopamine reset, I've been learning so much. And I also learned, like how addicting sugar is. And I didn't realize it opens the same addiction pathways as alcohol, and other things. And sugar is put in baby food, it's put in formulas, it's put in front of us from a very, very young age. And to reclaim that level of freedom and our choices and our chemistry and the impact that actually has on our brain and our emotional regulation and our ability to choose our freedom. It's big. It's really big. So I'm super grateful that we're doing this work together and super grateful for the group coming together and Drea and everyone that's in here. It's really fun to be in that community and that accountability. And I know, that other people are doing the workout with me and other people are diving in. So it feels like a really supportive community and really important information that I definitely want to pay forward.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rita. And you bring up such an important piece about, we don't notice this often that our addictions and our cravings and these little things that we don't think are affecting us in a lot of ways are taking away our choice. And so this process is really a process of re-empowering ourselves, re-empowering the people around us, just through these little simple daily conscious habits that can affect us in a really big way. So what a powerful share. And it's been so cool and amazing and enjoyable to watch you over the last, what has it been, 7 years now on this journey, and just how much our relationship has enhanced as a result of the nourishment here. So thank you so much for sharing, and I'm so grateful you're one of our co-hosts. And Rita hosts a daily alignment class every Friday that you get to be a part of inside the group. So, and I do believe she has the replays that she'll post if you can't make it. So, this is focusing on nourishment, it's focusing on community, it's focusing on exercise, it's focusing on overall health and well-being, less scrolling, more presence, all the things. So, in closing, I'll just say this, you don't necessarily need more discipline. You don't need to wait for January, that's for sure. You definitely don't need to fix yourself. You just need nourishment and support, and you're not failing. You're just tired. Your dopamine is tired. So, this reset is your invitation to come home to yourself, like Rita said. And you can bring your whole family along board. You can bring your friends with you if you like. So just get back to the person who invited you to this call today, and they can help you choose a tier. They have a special discount code for you for the superfoods. And then you can join us. We've already started. We're in motion. So people are flooding into the group. This is ongoing through the holiday and into the New Year season. So there really couldn't be a better time to start than now. So again, just get back to the person who invited you here. They'll send you the welcome letter once you get your superfoods, and then you'll have access to all the additional benefits of the group. So, love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for spending a few extra minutes with us. The stories were worth it. And our next info call is actually next Thursday, same time, same place. So if you have some friends or family members that you're like, wow, I'd really like to do this with them, please join them to come. We'll have more stories, more information, more education. And we're just really hoping to build this group into a robust place of, more awareness, more homecoming, and lots of nourishment. So thank you so much for being here, and hope to see you guys again soon.